Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting Patreon video. I will now go over the deck that I've been using at locals, unfortunately Teardrop, but it's been extremely powerful in the format. And again, it's for you SS3 and Super Saiyan God tiers that will have the insight and knowledge of this deck. And of course, when we do have the Ultra Instinct class. But other than that, it's a blue-green deck. I've showed you guys recently, about a week ago, my blue-green variant, which was more Piccolo oriented. It ran basically a huge Piccolo lineup, which we had the King Piccolo into basically 8 other type of Piccolos. That deck was extremely strong, but through testing, it has had a hard matchup against decks that are a little too fast. So like blue-yellow, I haven't been losing to it, but it's been more of a struggle. So decks like that will give it more of a hard time to actually compete in the format. So we ended up changing the deck into becoming more control based and just something that it's a force to be reckoned with overall. So without further ado, we'll get right into the deck profile. Alright guys, so I am going to present to you the green-blue variant that I've been playing with at locals, and it's been dominating and doing very, very well against the format. So, as you see, we have the SS3 leader. He's the most dominant generic leader in the format, which means, early on you can pitch a card from your hand, you get 2 energy, it's kind of random based on your life area, but it's still very good if you design your deck to be primarily one color, or if you make sure that it's mostly of a color that you need to hit, you'll do very well in terms of letting those ratios speak for themselves. Additionally, in his awakened side, you can again only play up to 6 energy, which is also from his front side, and at the end of your turn you can restand up to 3 of your energy, any color. So it makes, again, deck building very, very versatile. So without further ado, we start off with our awakened piece. 4 Newfound Power Son Gohan. He is the awakened mechanic of our deck. When we have him in play, we can easily attack with them, use cards such as Legendary Flute, pop it back to our hand. If we have another green in play, we can play him again, attack, and use his effect, and awaken. So you can awaken as early as turn 0, which is basically your first turn. We are running a different engine. As you guys saw me release, I was playing with a Piccolo engine. Now I'm actually playing with the Ribrianne engine, which is, she's very strong. Her effect is, she has barrier. When she comes into play, you reveal, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You reveal one of herself, which is basically a squadron. Any maiden you can reveal and add it to your hand. In this deck, we only run her. And it's not just this card, but we run all the evolutions of her. So we run 4 of her. Her ability is, you can evolve her. When she is evolved on top of this card or any Ribrianne, you can pop one of your opponent's battle cards. In addition, there's a little glare action, but at least you guys can see it. In addition, if you have the other, maidens in play, she can control your opponent's hand, which we don't run any other maidens, so don't worry about that. We run 4 Transformation Ribrianne. She is amazing. She's one of the strongest cards in my opinion in the game if you can get her off effectively. Her ability is, she has EX Evolve, which allows it to come in for 1 green. It has to be over a 5-drop, so it can only be over this card. When she attacks, she can take 2 cards out of your opponent's hand at random, and they get sent to the drop zone. Additionally, she has Double Strike, and let's be for real, she's a 30k beat stick. That's extremely huge in this game. To finish off the maiden package, we run 4 of the free blocker. His effect is, he comes in play for free if you have her in play, which is amazing. You get a free blocker, which essentially can help you get through a lot of crucial aspects in the game. A little close-up version of him so you can see who it is. Moving forward, we run our control aspect of the green engine, which is 4 of him. 4 Kami's Power Piccolo. He's extremely powerful. He allows us to do some vicious plays because all you need is another battle card in play to use the ability, which is When you have him in play, you use his once per turn bond 2. If you have another battle card in play, you can discard one of your opponent's battle cards in play, period. So you can just pop one of their cards on board, just controlling any other battle card in play. Then we run one of the strongest cards in the game, Analyza, which he's a force to be reckoned with. We run 4. He is basically your control card. He allows you to manipulate the game in the sense where your opponent now has to expend resources in order to combo out of your combos or out of your attacks in general. And the more you stack on board, the more cards they lose from hand per turn. So it's a continuous effect. He has barrier, so does this Piccolo. We run basically cards that can defend themselves, and they have very strong effects if you want to try to get rid of them off the board. Moving forward, we're going to go through the staples of the deck, which honestly, I only run, the staples of the deck are primarily blue, which you'll see them. We run 4 flutes. Flute is primarily for this guy in play. We run we use flute for him, we use flute for her to keep generating more card advantage, especially if we're missing pieces. We use flute for Gohan in order to continuously awaken. We also use flute for a few other cards, which I'm going to be revealing. The next staple we play is for Sensu Bean. Sensu Bean is one of the strongest cards in the game. It allows you to give 5k to any of your battle cards or leader permanently for that turn, which basically means if you're on the defense, you give it to your leader. Now your leader is hitting from a 15k to a 20k, and if it's unawakened, I'll be hitting from a 10k to a 15k. This provides very good defense, especially in an aggro format. So Sensu Bean will be the savior and one of the cards you want to see when you're playing against these yellow-blue variants such as Trunks and Hirudegarn. Lastly but not least, we run 4 boost attack Piccolos. You guys already know my take. You got to be running this. It's essential to be able to filter through your deck, and this deck can easily go down to 4 or less life. So having it is just a huge tool in your arsenal. We run 4 Raging Spirited Gohans, aka Freeham. We run these guys because, for one, he can be fluted into your hand. He's great defensively. So again, when you combo with them, use them defensively. Do not use them aggressively unless you're comboing out for game or you are forced to combo out to get rid of a key card on board. You want to ensure that you're able to use them effectively, where you can drop them on your opponent's turn safely, on your turn, restand them, attack them, use cards like Flute, bounce them back to your hand, and just make a lot of effective plays that are going to be in your favor. The last 6 cards that we run in this deck are your 4 other super combos. Essentially, they're a super combo. However, you're spending any energy of your choosing. There's not much to say other than that it's a powerful card, and it's basically having another boost attack Piccolo in your deck. Lastly but not least, we run 2 Fu, Scientist Fu. He is, in my opinion, the best overarm card in the game. He allows you to filter through cards. He's a 25k double strike beat stick, very hard to get over, and can close in games. As you can see, this deck has a lot of double strikes. We have Analyza, we have the Ribrianne, and if you get it to this form, we have the Piccolos, and essentially we have the Fu. So we have a lot of ways to close out the game, but this deck is primarily used to control your opponent. This is the deck that's been dominating locals, and if you're a good pilot, you're going to have a lot of success against all those yellow-blue variants. Unlike my Piccolo deck, that Piccolo deck has a little harder matchup because essentially those are bigger drops and you have to get up to 5 energy. This deck, you can safely go up to 3 energy and be able to do really powerful plays. I can go literally from turn 2 to turn 3 into her, and then the following turn I can already start going into her. I can just play the game the way I feel the need to, and they have barrier. So most of the cards in this deck, like a good portion of your main battle cards you want to see in play, have barrier. So take advantage of that. Make sure you're always putting your opponent at a disadvantage. That's very key when you are playing in this format. Guys and girls, if you have any questions, definitely message me. You can easily reach me through the WhatsApp. I'm gonna start a Discord soon, so this is gonna be for all the Patreons, including from the $1 tier all the way through the $80 tier. So you guys will be able to have access to me as a group so we can have group discussions and kind of talk about how our local experiences are, major events are. After any major tournaments, we'll all gather up, kind of talk about our experiences together and share information. This is a good way for all of us to improve our gameplay and kind of unite within this Patreon. Other than that, this deck is very solid. I'm not going to be providing a sideboard yet because I'm still testing. A lot of you guys asked me for sideboards. Again, it's a lot of testing involved that goes into this. I don't want to just slap things together and be like, hey guys, this is my sideboard, and it's like I didn't put no effort. I like to give you guys the best quality I can, which means that it takes a lot of testing and dedication. So again, thank you for your patience. Make sure you test this thoroughly, because this deck is not easy to use. It requires a lot of good sequencing, and you have to know options. You have to know what you're doing in order to really effectively abuse this deck. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and as always, this Patreon is all about you.